Hi guys, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, May 31st, 2016. This is Jennifer. I come to you after a week of just insanity. My daughter is studying abroad, my son graduates on Friday, there's been a whole bunch of other stuff going on in between. As I mentioned to you guys last week, I'm having surgery and it's actually 3 weeks from today. I'm having surgery on my foot, which is a very long story I'm not going to share here, but just suffice it to say I will be fine. It's just a long story. What I can share with you is that I have a couple of things finished despite all the other craziness that's been going on. Doing a little crafting has kept me sane. And I have a bit of a crafty confession, maybe even a quilty confession. Over the last probably month, I have been selling random things that I don't need. I sold an exercise bike that we had, and I sold some stuff from our garage that we didn't need anymore, and I sold, do you remember the tabletop quilt frame I bought last year? I sold that, so that is gone. And the reason for all of this is I was cleaning out a space in my garage to put a Grace quilt frame, which I have now done. And I didn't mention it before. I hadn't decided if I was going to talk about it on Talk to Me Tuesday or not, but there's no way for me not to tell you guys because I got some things quilted on it and I want to share that with you. I sew normally on a Juki sewing machine, which is a straight stitch, and it just so happens this sewing machine is one of the best things you can put on a Grace frame, and it's certainly one of the first things you can put on a Grace frame if you're not going to go with a larger throated machine. So I had been saving, and then I started selling stuff and clearing stuff out, and I spent so much time on Craigslist, guys, just getting rid of stuff I did not need. And I still have a few things to go, but all the big stuff is gone, which is really nice. In doing that, I enabled myself to invest in this Grace frame, and so I'm going to be quilting more of my own quilts, hopefully getting a lot more stuff done for myself and plow through that UFO list that I have. So far what I have done is just practice, and I wanted to share that with you guys. The first thing I did was put just 2 solid pieces of fabric on the frame, and I just did lots of practice. I've already washed this so it's all crinkly and wonderful, but it's just practice stitching. All of this is just practice quilting, and it's like meandering, and I did some curly hues, and I did a couple of feathers, and I had a lot of fun with it. It works really well, and I learned a lot about loading and unloading my quilts on this particular piece. So this one is bound and washed and ready to go. This is going to go to Linus because, believe it or not, I am extremely happy with all of the stitching. Even though it's all different, it came out really fun. The second thing that I did was I loaded some nice pretty back fabric. So I put some pretty blue fabric on the back, and I took the panel that Laura, Wonder Woman, had sent for Linus, and I knew when I got it what I was going to do with it, but I was still kind of keeping it a secret at the time. So I loaded that on and I quilted it. This one I did just a big overall meander. This still needs a binding, but this will go to Linus. This is one of my practice quilts. So you can see it's a little harder to see, but I did use a variegated blue thread, but you can see the quilting on the back. And I did, like, you can see where I pieced this because it wasn't quite big enough. But I just did a big meander all over the back. So this is the second thing I did on my Grace frame. And I would love to say that there was a third one, but there isn't because I just did that one yesterday. And because of the situation I have going on with my foot, I can stand up for about 20 minutes and then I have to sit down and put my foot up. And I'm not pushing myself because I still want to be able to sew and whatever. So, one of the things I did want to share is the binding on this. I put this on using my mother-in-law's sewing machine, which is technically my daughter's, but she was more than happy for me to use it, and she doesn't have a place for it, and right now she's in France, so she can't use it anyway. So I used my mother-in-law's sewing machine, which it's a Singer slant stitch that takes cams, and it just so happens that my Singer 301 is also a slant stitch, so all of my quilting feet fit on her sewing machine. So that was really nice. So I was able to use my walking foot, I was able to use my 1/4 inch foot, and I got this put on right here. And this is completely machine bound, and I do have a tutorial for that on Sewhooked. You can just search for machine binding or just binding and it'll probably come up. Tomorrow is June 1st, so the next My Favorite Things block will come out tomorrow. Be sure that you stop by Sewhooked from 8 a.m. tomorrow to 8 a.m. The 2nd, and it will be free during that 24 hours. So make sure you go on free pattern day so you can download your pattern for free. One final thing, I still do not have my quilt maker magazines, and I want to share a little bit about that because it has been extraordinarily frustrating. I have had emails and phone calls, and what ended up happening is that they had the incorrect credit card information for me, even though I had already talked to them twice about it, and they had at no point indicated that they could not process my payment. They kept saying my magazines were on the way, my magazines were on the way, when my magazines were not on the way. So it's not actually Quiltmaker, it's the distributor that distributes the magazine. The Quiltmaker people are awesome. This is not their fault. This is the distributor that's dropped the ball. And like I said last week, if you pre-ordered from me, you will be getting a little thank you gift for waiting, because I know if I had ordered something and it was supposed to be shipped already and I hadn't received it, I would be a little frustrated. So thank you guys for being so patient and awesome about it. I will be sending you a little thank you gift as soon as they arrive, which, like I said, despite being told they would be here last week, they're still not here. So I am dealing with that in the least angry way I possibly can right now. So hopefully I will have those in the mail soon. And if not, if anybody wants a refund, let me know and I would be happy to do that for you. I don't want you to feel like I'm holding your money hostage or anything like that. I do plan to have those in the mail the moment I have them in my hands. I just don't have them yet. So be sure to stop by Sewhooked tomorrow for my favorite things. There will be a new block that will be free for 24 hours, and be sure to stop by Phantom and Stitches also tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I just like spaced out for a second, but also tomorrow, so because it is Wednesday, stop by Phantom and Stitches for the latest installment of the Minions Quilt Along, and that is going to be it for me. It has been 20 minutes since I started filming this, though it will not be 20 minutes long, and I need to put my foot up. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.